Hi, I'm Dr. Ken Berry, a family physician, and in this video I'm going to tell you the 7 reasons that every diet you've ever tried in your entire life failed. There's specific reasons why those diets could never have worked, and I'm going to give you those 7 reasons in this video and then also tell you what I think will work for you. I've been helping people for over 20 years improve their health and realize an ideal body weight. Let's talk about the 7 reasons all diets fail. Now, I talk a lot on this channel about a proper human diet. And you're like, wait a minute, Dr. Berry, you just said diet. So this is just another diet that I'm going to fail at. I'm using the word diet in its proper ancestral form. I'm not saying here's a diet for weight loss. I'm saying here's a proper human diet, as in this is the proper way that human beings, Homo sapiens sapiens, should eat for all of their life, from the beginning of their life until the end of their life. This is a proper human diet. I'm not saying this is a weight loss diet. Let me just begin by saying that the reason that all the diets failed you in the past were not your fault, okay? You are not a glutton. You are not a sloth. You are not lazy. You are not a loser. You were just sold a bill of goods. You were taught a way to improve your health, to lose fat, that never works. This is not your fault, okay? So look in the mirror, forgive yourself for all those bad things that you said to yourself in the past. And you know you did that because it was not your fault. You were just given bad information and bad advice. So the number one and most important reason that all those other diets failed you is because that they were, by definition, semi-starvation diets. They told you to move more and eat less. Right? Remember that? Now, they say this in many different ways. Some diets have point systems. Some have cards that you give yourself. Some have stickers when you've had this many starches and this many proteins. But what it all boils down to is they're all calorie restriction diets, which means they are semi-starvation diets. It's been known since the 1940s that when you starve yourself chronically, you wind up with specific symptoms, even eating disorders, inappropriate relationship with foods. All these things come when you're chronically trying to starve yourself. So there was this big experiment back in the 1940s done by Ancel Keys. This is some of the good research that he actually did, called the Minnesota Starvation Experiment. And he took a lot of very healthy, young, metabolically well young men who did not want to fight in the war. And he said, okay, you can serve your country a different way. And so they put them on semi-starvation diets. And the amount of calories that these men were eating every day mirrors the amount of calories that the average weight loss diet would tell you to eat a day. And after just a few weeks on this semi-starvation diet, these previously young, mentally and physically healthy men started to exhibit symptoms of eating disorders and mental disease that they had never had before. So Ancel Keys wasn't giving these young, healthy men no food. He was giving them about 1,600 calories a day. Does that sound familiar? You're like, oh, that's the amount of calories I was supposed to eat on that diet that I failed at. No. You didn't fail. The diet failed. Let me read to you some of the symptoms that these young, healthy men had when they were on a 1,600 calorie a day diet. The participants exhibited a preoccupation with food. Sexual interest was drastically reduced. The participants reported a decline in concentration, comprehension, and judgment capabilities. There were also marked declines in physiological processes indicative of decreases in each subject's basal metabolic rate. Their body temperature went down, their breathing rate went down, and their heart rate decreased. They actually lowered their metabolic rate, which is your ability to burn calories, on a 1,600 kilocalorie a day diet. Now, if this happened, this is known research. This is published. This is volume 1 of 2 volumes. Look how thick that is. This was done back in the 1940s, yet every single diet that you've been told to try, probably for weight loss, but maybe for other health improvement goals, is a calorie restriction diet. But it's known that these things happen when you chronically starve a human being. And indeed, if you chronically starve any mammal on the planet, they will start to become obsessed with food. They'll crave food. They will dream about food. Two of these guys, after the study ended, they became chefs. Even though they had previously had no desire in cooking food, they literally were still so obsessed with food after this starvation experiment, they became chefs. So any diet that tells you to restrict calories or to control your portion sizes is by definition a semi-starvation diet that is not sustainable long term. It's not your fault. It's just an idiotic dietary design. It's never going to work. If you took any mammal and put them on a semi-starvation diet, they're going to eventually chew their paw off trying to get out of the cage so they can go back to doing what every mammal on the planet wants to do, is designed to do, is hardwired to do, which is to eat until you're comfortably full. Another reason that every diet you ever tried failed you is that they deny or ignore sugar addiction, highly processed carbohydrate addiction. They'll say things to you like, oh, you can eat whatever you want, just eat it in moderation. This is idiotic advice. Sugar addiction is real. Highly processed carbohydrate addiction is real. And it will override your hunger hormones and your satiety hormones if you're also dealing with a processed food addiction, a sugar addiction, a wheat, a grain addiction. All of these things are going to trip you up. It's like telling an alcoholic, oh, just have one beer a day. It's fine to have a little beer in moderation. Another reason that every diet you've ever tried has failed you is because they emphasize exercise way too much. Most of them will say that exercise is half the battle, 50% of the battle. Some even say, especially if they own a gym or have a training course, that exercise is more than 50% of the battle. This is bullshit, okay? 99% of your fat loss, and when you say you want to lose weight, you mean I want to lose fat, right? 99% of that is going to come by changes that you make in the food that you eat and the food that you don't eat. Exercise is a terrible method for weight loss. The research is very, very clear on this. There's no equivocation in the research. If you want to lose weight, you've got to change what you eat, not exercise more. Another reason that all the other diets failed you is because of vitamin and mineral deficiencies. When you're eating less food overall and the food you are eating is nutrient void, you're going to wind up with vitamin and mineral deficiencies. And this can lead to severe cravings, okay? And when you're physiologically hungry and you're craving some vitamin and mineral, you're going to eat everything in the kitchen trying to get that. This is not a sign of weakness on your part. This is a sign of the strength of the hard wiring of your human physiology and your brain, that if you're deficient in some vitamin or some mineral, you will do anything to get that in your mouth. That's a strength on your part, not a weakness. The next reason that all those other diets failed you is because they love to sell you highly processed shakes and bars and meals, right? And so basically they are nutrient void. So you're going to be having cravings for the vitamins and minerals that you're not getting in their highly processed junk food diet. Also, you're going to be calorie restricting. So your literal physiology, the very foundation of what you are as a mammal, is going to be crying out for nutrition and will absolutely override your willpower and your fortitude every single time. You will never win that battle if you're calorie restricting and you're eating their bars and their shakes and their little prepackaged meals that have all the vitamins and minerals and amino acids and fatty acids sucked out of them or never added in the first place, or even worse yet, fortified with fake vitamins and minerals that were made in a factory. The next reason all those other diets failed you and that you should break up with them and block their number and never talk to them again is because they sold you on the expectation that the way you were going to judge the way their diet was working for you was by the pounds on the bathroom scale. That's how you're going to judge this diet, is you're going to weigh yourself once a day, once a week, once a month, and based on what the number on the bathroom scale is, that is your metric of success. That is dumb. Okay, there are multiple ways that you can tell that your body, your mind, and your metabolism are healing, and very often the number on the bathroom scale ain't one of those metrics. What you currently weigh on your bathroom scale versus what you weighed on the scale last week actually has very little to do with the healing that's going on in every organ of your body when you adopt a proper human diet and eat 1 or 2 or 3 meals a day until you are comfortably stuffed. Then guess what you do? You stop eating. And because you've eaten so much healthy fat and healthy protein, you're not going to be hungry again for many, many hours. You're not going to be snacking. You're not going to be thinking about food, fantasizing about food, daydreaming about food, doing dishonest things to get food, lying to your family, lying to your friends, lying to yourself. You're not going to have to do any of that because your body is fully satiated with all the healthy fat and protein in a proper human diet. And also, you're not going to be craving any vitamins and minerals because a proper human diet is replete with those as well. So if you're ready to get a restraining order against all of those previous diets that treated you so badly and abused you so much, then I'm very proud of you. I hope you never look back. I've got over 500 videos on this YouTube channel that are going to help you understand the basic principles of what a proper human diet is. You don't have to buy any shakes or powders or pre-packaged meals. You don't have to sign up for a program. You can start to reverse chronic diseases today. You can start to lose fat today. You can start to build healthy muscle, bone, and connective tissue today by eating a proper human diet. Check out my other videos on this channel. That's all you got to do. The reason that your doctor or your dietitian or your dietary guru gave you all this bad advice in the past is that they just don't know better. They're not evil. There's no conspiracy. They're just currently ignorant. But I'm going to teach you, and then you're going to teach them. And then the whole world is going to collectively rediscover the benefits of eating a proper human diet. This is Dr. Barry. I'll see you next time.